woke up on the 4th of July and I was pretty excited and happy with myself. That day would be my last day of radiation. I'd lasted the whole 6 weeks. I hadn't missed a single day. I was still in hospital that day, but they said that I was allowed to have my radiation, so I was pretty excited. And some of my family and friends came in as well. So I had everyone around me to make it even more special. When they took me down to radiation, my favourite clinicians were there, and I got to go into room 1, which was my favourite room. They're all the same, but for whatever reason, room 1 was my favourite. And I did ask if they could let me have that on my last day, and how they wangled it, I don't know. But I got to be in room 1 for my last radiation treatment. I came out, we all hugged, there were big smiles all round. My beautiful nurse was there, Grace, as well, who'd been with me on the journey the whole way through and is still with me on this journey today. They gave me permission to go and celebrate down in the cafeteria because I was still in hospital. So we all went and had lunch and celebrated and just talked about my journey over the last period of time and how I've got to here and how happy we all were. It was really important for me that I finished my treatment on the 4th, as my granddaughter was due to be born the following day, and I didn't want to still be having treatment when she came into the world. So that made it extra special that I was finished and ready, waiting for her to come into the world. It was a bit strange to wake up the next day and think I'd been surrounded by doctors, nurses, the hospital for 6 solid weeks, and all of a sudden it was over. And I wondered what that was going to look like for me. It was strange. The 2 weeks after radiation, I was pretty tired and a bit unwell. I slept most of the days. I had a morning, a lunchtime, and then off to bed early. They did say that that was going to happen, but I didn't quite understand how tired I would be. So I pretty much slept a lot of the time. I was due to start originally my chemo about 6 weeks after radiation finished, and I was to start the temozolomide tablets. But because of the impact they had on my body, that was no longer an option for me. So I'd been waiting on what the next lot of treatment was going to be for me. My beautiful doctor, Lucy Gately, had put me forward for a couple of trials. I missed out on one early on because my platelet levels were not up. They dropped as low as 7 and they were slowly creeping up, but they were still only in the 80s. And they needed to be over 100 to be eligible for any trials. I remember being at home 9 weeks after treatment had finished, and I was waiting on some blood test results to see if I was going to be eligible for another trial. And I got that phone call to say that my platelets had not reached 100. I was devastated. I was so sad. My son was home with me at the time, and he sat me down and he said, "It's okay, Mum." I said to him, "It's been 9 weeks now, and I've not been on any treatment, nothing. I'm not taking anything to get rid of these things in my head. And Sam said to me, "It's been 9 weeks, Mum, and look at how well you are. Look at how well you're doing. I'm so proud of you. And how do you know that these trial drugs were going to work for you?" And I thought, you're right. I was holding all my hope on getting into a trial, but maybe that wasn't the right thing for me. Sam said, "Keep doing what you're doing, Mum, because whatever you're doing is working for you." So I kept up with my meditation. My diet had changed. And a week later, Lucy, my doctor, started me on Avastin, which is the treatment I've been on. And that's what comes up in episode 4, my current treatment. I've been on that since the 6th of September, and it's now the 1st of June. So I've been on that the whole time. And I'm feeling really good, feeling well. I think what I want to say about trials and about treatment, I'm a big believer that everything happens for a reason. As much as I was devastated I missed out on those trials, maybe they weren't the right trials for me. And maybe what I'm on now is the right thing for me. So I certainly allowed myself to be a bit sad overnight. But like every other speed hump that I hit, I wake up the next day and I get on with my life, because there's no point wasting my energy on something I can't control. And I couldn't control that my platelets weren't up. Couldn't control that I didn't get into those trials. But what I can control is how I feel and what I currently have in front of me to use to get rid of these things in my head. I'm grateful for everyone in my family for supporting me. And it's the 1st of June, and I'm still on my drugs. And I'm healthy and I'm well.